Welcome to the introduction of mobile technology. My name is Cadogan and I'm going to be a facilitator for this course. This course is going to introduce students to the different types of mobile telephone technologies and systems stemming from the first generation analog systems to the 4G networks that are available today. We're going to be looking at the IP, backbone networks, commercial systems, etc. Before we start the course, I just want to introduce you to your course or your online environment, which is the new classroom or e-classroom that is normally referred to. We also have the mobile technology group that is going to be on Facebook, so we're going to have little updates that is going to take place. I require that everybody sign into this group as well. You're going to have that link set up for you on e-classroom too as well, which is this link is going to carry you directly there. Before we even think about talking about mobile technologies and what we're going to be looking at, I want you all first and foremost to get familiar with the application development platform that we're going to be using in order to develop our mobile app, which is MIT App Inventor. Now, when you click on this link, it's going to direct you straight to this web page when you're going to see a lot of App Inventor tools and so on, and also it's going to direct you to this site, which you're going to be able to sign on to App Inventor and to see the interface as well, and to install the required app plugin on your machine in order for you to run App Inventor successfully and so on. So first, let us begin by just clicking on this link, and it's going to direct you to your Google account, which you'll be able to sign in. I'm going to sign in under my my alias name or my site, Chocolate Without Milk. Alright, I hope that I remember the password. And it's going to direct me to the App Inventor interface, where I'm going to allow it, yes, as Chocolate Without Milk here. I'm going to allow it. And it's MIT App Inventor interface that it's going to be using. And it's going to give you the policies and so on that are going to need to be, they don't need to read, basically, and it's going to accept the terms of services and so on. And it's going to direct you directly to the environment. If you wish to take a survey, and we don't have any time for that, so just take shoot never, and that's it. Release note, same thing here. And you can continue, but before you even continue, I suggest you set up and you run the Android emulator. When you run this Android emulator, just a little file that is going to start and install on your computer systems. Luckily, if you have a computer system that is running efficiently, all right, they're going to give you the breakdown in terms of the instructions to install the emulator. So you look for your Windows instructions here and so on, and you can get it, read it, and so on, in the file that is going to be using to install the emulator and so on. Okay, so you could choose whether or not you want to set up an emulator here, right? Okay, and you can install the emulator for you to run your mobile app and so on. So these are some of the examples of the emulator that you could use. All right, this one in particular you're going to be using in order for you to run your mobile applications and so on. Alright, just now we take a pause our course, and we was talking about the App Inventor interface that we're going to be using. And first and foremost, before you set up this App Inventor interface, you will need to set up and run the Android emulator. So when you click on the setup and the run Android emulator, it's going to take you to one of the pages of the MIT App Inventor, which you're going to look at the instructions for whatever operating system that you're using or you're running at this point in time. Let's say that you're running Windows, so you're going to have the instructions for Windows. You're going to select that, and then you're going to click the download the installer. The installer is basically about 79 megs up to 80 megs or something like that. You download the file, and then actually you set up the file. So I actually have the file here already downloaded, so I'm going to actually click on that file and run it to install my App Inventor emulator. So when I run my mobile applications, I'll be able to see the type of applications that are running without sending it out directly to a mobile phone. So some of you all may not have what you call smartphones and so on, or some of you all may not want to connect your smartphone to the App Inventor tool. So this is a useful tool that you could use in order to install and to run actually this in an emulation mode, which I will advise you all to actually install the program. So once the program is installed, as you can see, it's installing right now, the emulator, go back to the App Inventor interface. I'm just going to just click continue here. Alright, and first and foremost, in order for you to actually see the App Inventor program itself, you would have to actually use what they call the block editor, and this here is what you consider the interface. You're going to see the block editor in a little bit. When the program is initially installed, that is the emulator program, well, as you can see, it's installed here right now, so we're going to run it. Alright, and of course this would have to run in administrative mode. So generally, if you start a new project, let's say let's call this project whatever, alright, you're gonna basically need to connect your emulator Alright, using the emulator mode here. If it cannot find the emulator, then you'll have to actually search for the emulator file and so on. As you can see that this emulator here is out of date. This session is here, so you could continue with both sessions. Alright, or you could just end this particular session. I'm just going to continue with both sessions here for now. Alright, and as you can see, the emulator just came up. This is going to be powering up. So this is one of the useful tools that you're going to be using for the mobile technology interface to develop what they call some robust applications interface. I'm going to be looking at some of these applications that you're going to be developing. Of course, you will have to learn the tool first and foremost, so you're going to YouTube some of the what they call these tutorials that are online. There's a lot. Or you could also go to the App Inventor page itself. We could probably just Google the page quickly here so you can see it. Alright, so I'm just going to just Google the page here. So I'm just going to go to my Google, and I'm just going to go to the MIT App Inventor interface. Alright, that is online by itself. App Inventor 2 we're going to be using because App Inventor 1 had some problems with their JDK, and you could see some of the tutorials there. So you could actually go to the site. We're going to look at the tutorials in the site, and I would want you all to try some of these tutorials first, and then later on, of course, we're going to talk about how we can manipulate some of these tutorials to build some robust applications. I'm Andrew Cadogan. Next thing that we're going to talk about is we're going to look at the actual course itself, alright, in my next video.